What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and I am excited right now because today I'm going to be reacting to Burnout and Overworking Yourself by Jaden Animations. Now, I'm excited because I freaking love Jaden Animations, and I find myself relating with Jaden Animations as like a twin, almost. I mean, we're so freaking similar. It's crazy. So I always love reacting to Jaden Animations because it's kind of like talking to yourself. And so you know it's gonna be a good conversation. So yeah, I'm excited to react to this because I can already relate. I mean, I recently, like a month ago, I made a video talking about myself burning out. But yeah, without any further ado, the original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Jaden Animations, and let's begin.
Raise your hand if you've ever sacrificed physical, mental, and or emotional health to overwork yourself into an extremely depressive state of mind that takes days to recover from in hopes to be happy with a result knowing it's probably not gonna be worth it in the end.
What'd I say? Oh my goodness, she's like a twin. We're so freaking similar. Rip.
If a friend came up to you and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go run 50 miles and refuse to eat, sleep, or take care of myself until I'm done," you'd be like,
"That's crazy."
"No, you doof. That's a horrible idea. You need sunscreen first." Overworking yourself has such a confusing interpretation right now. Everyone knows it's not good, but at the same time, it's also glorified. The best examples are in
Yeah, because it means you're like a hard worker. There's a certain respect for someone who works that hard, right? But at the same time, it's not freaking healthy. Like that's a sure way to get you to an early grave doing that.
in school or work environments. Dude, I had 6 hours of homework last night and didn't get to bed until 4 a.m. You think that's bad? The other week, I had 3 tests to study for, so I pulled an all-nighter and only drank coffee for 2 days straight. I have not slept for a week. My blood flows with Red Bull and Xanax.
Well done! This might be shocking, but I've never actually pulled an all-nighter. I've never pulled an all-nighter, even for school. I mean, for the most part, I was one of the kids who would actually, you know, if you're aware that you have a test coming, I would actually try to study, you know, over the course of a week or two, not not in one night, because I can barely remember stuff that like happened an hour ago or whatever. How do you expect me to remember stuff I study an hour ago or 2 hours ago or 10 hours ago, right? Like, especially if you're doing an all-nighter, like the amount of information that would just go through my head, you know, in one ear out the other. It'd be pointless. So yeah, I was never that kind of person to stay up all night trying to study.
When someone's driven to work exceptionally hard, obviously that's really admirable. But when they start forfeiting self-care in place of hard work, that's when you start crossing into the realm of pain and uncontrollable suffering. Yeah, but enduring the pain and pushing forward is super strong. No. Your emotions start to chop and change more, your mental health starts to deteriorate, you snap more at things that aren't big deals, everything feels like you're playing sudden death mode in Smash Bros. Honey, I brought you some lemonade.
Yeah, you do need time off, and you do need to take a break every now and then, especially when you're working like crazy hours or whatever. Because I found, even for myself, I need to have at least some time off in the day to relax or play video games or something, because if you don't, you end up going kind of crazy. You just kind of go crazy. And this is a great example of it, how you just become so, like, I don't know, irrational, if that's the word, or you become more agitated over pointless things. I mean, I'm that way anyway. And when I get to a point where I'm in this state, it's just not good.
Experience burning themselves out in some sort of way. That's part of life. If you don't, you're either perfect or the devil. And I don't trust either of those, so stay back. I've been slowly losing my sanity from overworking myself ever since I dropped out of college, which was 2 years ago. It's the type of thing that slowly creeps in, and you only start to notice it when your insides have already deteriorated by 30%.
Yeah, that's... I noticed like a few months ago I was burning out, and that's why I made a video talking about it, and like an update video. How I was feeling so burnt out. And I feel good now, and I'm still working almost the same amount, but I've cut down a little bit, just a little bit. You don't need that much, just a little bit less. Just, you know, an hour less work in the day, or half an hour less work in the day. You can go play video games or something like that to relax, or go hang out with a friend or whatever. It helps your psychological state a lot. It really does.
And your insanity stat has reached level 10. Burnout is caused by 3 main variables: depersonalization, where you don't feel in control of yourself anymore, emotional exhaustion, and a lost sense of achievement. Wow, Jaden, you're so smart! After a long time of feeling like a very sad shell of a person, I started seeing a therapist. So the first day I came in, she just asked some basic questions to get to know me and my situation. And she got to the question, what would you describe your average daily schedule to be? And I was like, alright, that seems simple enough.
Work. Right? I assume that's what hers is.
So I wake up around 8:30, have a small
8:30? You're so lucky. I get up at 6 every day.
snack, work out for like 30 minutes, and start working. So I work until lunch, and then I get back to work. Yeah. And I work until dinner, and then I work until I go to sleep. And when's that? 1 a.m.
Oh my goodness, your time is so different than mine.
Yeah, I see the problem now. I was, and still am, struggling with the mindset of, if I'm not working, I'm being lazy.
I have the exact same mindset. If I'm, I just have like an urge. I have an urge to work, even though sometimes I don't want to. I just have an urge to do it. So whether I'm working on YouTube videos or, because I have another project I'm working on as like to try to be an actual career that I'm doing. And I have the feeling that if you're not doing anything, if you're just lazing around watching TV or whatever, I mean, I always have the urge that I should be working.
And the fact that I work for myself in my own home and am my own boss doesn't help at all. Taking a break to play games? But I could be working. Eating dinner? I could be working. Sleeping? But I could be working. Working? But I could be working harder. I'm not saying this just for you, but for myself. It's okay to take personal time for yourself. Don't work your life away! I'll take a break when I'm dead. Frick.
Did you just say a bad word on my Minecraft server? How dare you?
I never got to come up with a funny tombstone. I asked a bunch of my friends about their experiences with overworking themselves, and they were all like, oh yeah, burnout is torture and can go frickin' suck a jellyfish. Their stories consisted of not sleeping for hours or days on end in exchange for more time to work, denying themselves food or water until they finished something, breaking for a minute to go to the bathroom only to go right back to work, snapping at friends or family for no reason. It sucks, because these aren't even uncommon experiences. It feels so good to be validated and admired for working hard, but there's a slippery slope. Yeah,
there's a line, there's a really thin line that you cross very easily, and you have to do I don't know, you have to learn how to balance really well.
There, of accidentally forgetting to keep yourself alive and sane if you're not careful. I'm here to save you from yourself! What? What? Wait, I've got to study for final exams! No time! Go take a nap! 46% of Americans drop out of college anyway! I also asked my friends if overworking themselves negatively impacted their relationship with the end product, and there were 2 different interpretations. Some of them said, holy frick!
Watch your mouth, young lady. Didn't we already talk about this?
Yes, I hate that thing now. Stressing and pushing themselves too much made them sloppy and make awful mistakes. They cut more corners and agreed the final product suffered because of the pressure they put on themselves.
Yeah, I found that too, that even though like I have the urge to always be working for the most part, you have to not always listen to that urge, because you'll get burnt out, and then you'll start caring less on the actual project or work that you're doing, if that makes sense. So then the actual product is not as good as you want it to be. It's all too friggin' true.
Another friend, with better hair, described it as being
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
a sick, twisted reward for unhealthy behavior. Of course, they were able to finish the project, which they wanted, but the steps they took to complete it led to painful burnout and definitely was more emotionally damaging than if workflow was more evenly distributed. My scientific conclusion?
This is a side note, but I've noticed that the animation in this is a lot more animated compared to normal. Like, it looks a lot more fluid, or like not graphic, but just more animated. It looks more, there's more movement in it compared to normal Jane Animation's video. At least it looks that way to me.
You suffer either way. Here, have some tips to not be emotionally damaged for a week after overworking yourself. Don't do too much of the same thing without any sort of change whatsoever. You're not a mindless work zombie in a hamster ball. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over is a formula for absolute misery. Aatrox, who helps with animating the videos, had a good analogy, so I'm gonna steal it. So say you like chocolate. I do like chocolate. No one asked you. So imagine you hypothetically enjoy eating chocolate, but when you only eat chocolate,
then you start to hate it because that's all you have. You have nothing else. I've actually experienced that all too much, you know, in terms of actual working, but also in the terms of food because I don't have much of a crazy diet. I eat the same things for the most part. And I always eat, like, I find something that I like, I always overdo it, and I hate it, and then I go on to something else.
And nothing else, you feel sick. That nauseous feeling in your throat and stomach that makes you want to lay down and throw up for the rest of the day. It's the same with anything else. Do more than just work and eat hypothetical chocolate all the time. Spend time with yourself. Do something that'll refuel your juice tanks. When you're running on empty, you gotta take time to fill the tank back up to full. Enjoy yourself! I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at me, because I still have a really hard time with that one. Take a shower. You've probably been working for 5 days straight. Spend time with friends.
Like with me, I find that even if I am hanging out with friends, which I don't have that many friends, I'm in the basement all day. I have paranoia. I can barely leave the house at this point. But I've found that even if I do hang out with friends, or if I'm doing something, I always have that urge to keep working. But if you listen to it and you go and you keep working, you really do get burnt out. You really have to. Well, I guess you have to learn how to manage your time a lot more, where you designate, you know, I'm working for 8 hours today, or 9 hours today, or 10 hours, no more. Then I get to watch TV for 2 hours. I get to play video games for 1 hour. You know, you have to designate your time. And I think that actually helps a lot.
You have any. Do some stretches or something that includes moving your body. Exercise equals dopamine, which means less depression. Yay! If you're a farmer, I am a farmer. No one asked you. You gotta tend to a variety of fields instead of hyper-focusing on the same one every day. It's easy to get stuck in the same grind of consistency. If you're a lumberjack, I am a lumberjack. Will you cut that out? You can't keep swinging your axe continuously at trees all the time. It'll start getting too dull and become difficult to keep going. You gotta take time to stop and sharpen your tools.
Okay, why is that fire gray?
Keep things balanced. You can create your best ideas when you're not stressed and overworked, and sad, and tired, and feel like poop. Wait, I thought you were a farmer.
Exposed.
Hey.
Alright, this is a little bit of a side note, but speaking of farmers, have any of you actually got the idea or the urge just to go and work on a farm or live on a farm, or just go into the middle of the woods and build a cabin and live there? Because I've gotten that idea recently. It'd be interesting just to go and try to survive on like a deserted island or whatever out in the freaking Pacific. You know, just a little island. You have to try to fend for yourself. I mean, it'd be horrible. But at the same time, if you think of it, that is what life's about, right? It's about surviving. Whether you're at home trying to survive via working at McDonald's or whatever, or you're in the freaking Pacific Ocean on an island trying to fight wild boar with a freaking stick. I mean, you pick your poison there, right? My mind goes to weird places.
Hey ho, it's me again. Hope you liked the video, and as a pact to myself, I promise to not pull any all-nighters while making it.
Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. I freaking love this, and I can relate so much because I have, you know, problems with overworking myself, then getting burnt out, and then having a slight mental breakdown, then trying to recover. And then it gets to the point where I've recovered enough that I forget I had the freak out or the breakdown to begin with, and I start overworking myself, and the loop continues. A large portion of burning out is just time management. You know, you have to designate certain amounts of the day to work, certain amounts to relaxation, and when you don't do that, and you don't put enough time away for yourself, that's when the breakdowns happen and things get wild. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe to the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Jane Animations. The link's in the description. I'll see you guys the next time. Boop!